In this video of Front Row Rugby, I have Springbok legend and 2007 World Cup winner Ruan Pienaar with us. Ruan, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to talk to you guys and looking forward to it.
All right, just before we get started, let's have a look at our trivia question for this week. Who did the Springboks play in a one-off test before the start of the 1996 Tri-Nations? If you know the answer to that question, you can put it in the comment section below. Also, we'll find out if Ruan knows the answer to that question, but we'll find out at the end of our conversation. Ruan, let's get started. I know that your dad was a Springbok player as well. Was there ever any pressure or expectation from him or from your family?
No, not really. I think I just, for some reason, fell in love with the game as well. I really enjoyed it from a young age. And I think it also helped because my dad played and sort of grew up next to a rugby field, and then he went into coaching. So it's always been something that I've been interested in and something that I loved. But I think from my parents' side, there was never any pressure. There was never told I must play rugby. My dad just always helped me if I wanted to go and kick or pass, whatever. He was always there to help, but he never pressurized me to follow rugby. And I'm really grateful that they just supported me in whatever I decided to do.
And what about your teachers and coaches and your friends at school?
So I was lucky enough. I grew up sort of next to our primary school, and Mornay Steyn attended the same school as me. So I know since we were 3-4 years old. So we played a lot of rugby and a lot of sports together. So I think that helped a lot. And then also, obviously, you've got teachers through your primary career that really guided you along. We had one of our teachers, Mr. De Beer, was a big influence in, I guess, both me and Mornay's lives in playing rugby. And then as you go into high school also, I think there's a lot of people that invested a lot of time and effort into our rugby careers at a schoolboy level as well. So I think that really helped us to sort of take a step forward and grow as players and also as people.
Hey, if you're enjoying this video, why not hit the like button?
Talk to me about your Springbok debut in 2006. Obviously a very special moment for you, but at the same time it was quite a heavy defeat for the Springboks.
Yeah, it was. I think you don't really, guess, although you want to win the test match, it's just such a big occasion to make your debut. It's a boyhood dream that that comes true. I remember I was really nervous, and then I also went on at fullback, and not even in my preferred position, a scrum half. And my first touch, Dan Carter put up a spiral bomb, and I just saw out of the corner of my eye Ma'a Nonu running towards me, and he's probably double my size, and managed to avoid him and get the pass away. So at least I survived that. But like you said, a heavy defeat. But still really special to make your debut for the Springboks, something you've wanted to do your whole life. And then, thankfully, the next week in Rustenburg, we got one back over the All Blacks again, which was really special to be involved with that.
And then you managed to establish yourself in the team quite quickly, actually. In 2007, in the Tri-Nations, you started each of the 4 matches. Did that give you confidence going to the World Cup that you might actually be one of the starters?
Yeah, I think there was a big competition. Obviously, Rugby World was there, Enrique January. I think Bola Conradi was still around, Michael Klaassen. So there was a load of really talented scrum halves. I think that probably helped me, to start a few test matches in the Tri-Nations and also to prove to myself that I belong at that level. So I think that definitely helped me. But I'm just grateful. I mean, 2007 was a massive year for us, and to be a part of that was really special.
And I want to talk a little bit about that World Cup, especially the pool match against England. And I know that Fourie du Preez was the starting scrum half in that match. But just from your point of view, that performance against England, the 36-0 in the pool stage, was that as close as possible that you've seen the Springboks come to perfection?
I think so, and I think no one expected it, but the guys played really well. I think I only got about 3 or 4 minutes at the end there, but to sit on the side and just see the guys perform that well was really special, and obviously gives you a lot of confidence going forward in an occasion like a World Cup. So I think that really put the benchmark in the way we wanted to play and how we wanted to play, and I think that obviously gave us a big chance going forward in being one of the favourites, and thankfully we managed to do that.
After that England match, Tonga were our next opponents, and the Springboks actually struggled in that match. What happened there?
I think Jake made a lot of changes. I think And I think that was the one game where he felt he could do that. And Jake is never a guy who doesn't pick his best 15. So I think he, from his point of view, probably took a bit of a chance there. But I think it was still a good Springbok team. I think we were just probably not that good on the day. It was really close. A bounce of the ball at the end of the game could have easily gone Tonga's way and changed a little bit, changed the perspective of the rest of the tournament a little bit. So I think it was a bit nerve-wracking for everyone. But I think also because you beaten England 36-0, you can get, like we said, you had a lot of confidence going forward. But that was maybe a little bit of the eye-opening we needed, that this is a World Cup. If you lose a game, you're out of it. So I think that was a bit of an eye-opener. And then again, Fiji in the quarterfinals was just as close as well. So I think we just probably let it slip a little bit. And then second half, a lot of the senior guys came on and made a big impact as well. So but definitely was too close to comfort.
As you mentioned, beating Fiji in the quarterfinals, it was an interesting round at the Rugby World Cup in 2007 because Australia were eliminated, New Zealand were knocked out at that stage as well. After that round, the quarterfinals, was there an air of inevitability in the Springbok camp that we were going to go on and win it from there?
I think we knew it's going to be a tough, no matter who you play. In a playoff match, no matter who you play, it's going to be tough and you've got to be at your best. And I think we saw that against Fiji. Obviously, New Zealand going down was a massive shock, against France. But I think we had confidence the whole time that we had the group that can go all the way. And I think things slowly, as the competition progressed, sort of tilted towards our way with New Zealand going out and the teams we were facing in the quarter semis and then later on in the final. So. I think it was just meant to be for our group, and I must say it was a special generation of Springbok players that year, and then even going on beyond that, 2008, 2009, some of the best players in the world was in that team. So I think it's a just reward for those guys that's been at the top for so long, and then to top it off with a World Cup win, obviously can't get better than that.
I want to talk a little bit about that final. Obviously, as we've discussed, beating England 36-0 in the pool stage and then sort of a rematch in the final. Given what had happened in the pool stage, South Africa had to start that match as the favourites. But I remember vividly Jake White almost every day in the press leading up to the final was saying, no, England are the favourites, they're the defending champions, etc., etc. What was the build-up like in the Springbok camp ahead of that final?
I think it was a strange one because, like you said, you just beat England 36-0 and clearly in your mind, you should be the favourites. You just beat them. But then I think Jake was really good with the way he handled the press, and he still does today. He's still very good at it. And then you've also got to remember they had a guy called Johnny Wilkinson who's been there, who's done that. He's won a World Cup for them. He's been one of the best players in rugby union for a long time. So they still had a really good team, and a final, anything can go your way. And I think we just had a strong group of players that's been involved in big games before. Percy Montgomery again was outstanding. I think Butch James had a really good World Cup. Juan Smith at the flanker. So and then obviously a big talking point was the tackle of Donnie Rousseau and Mark Waiter in the corner there. So. I think it was just meant to be. I think, like I said, it was a special group of players and it was a special night. And I must say that the whole World Cup, I think we spent 7-8 weeks in and around France was, I think it just always felt really good within the group. We had a lot of fun on and off the field. And, to top it off with a win in a World Cup final, obviously, is extremely special.
How disappointing was it for you not to actually get on the field in the final, or didn't it really matter?
I wouldn't say it didn't matter. Obviously, we would have liked to play a little bit of a part in a final. But like I said, I think Jake White had his 15 guys that he really trusted, and only if needs be would make a change. So I think we all sort of knew what his thinking was. I remember Percy Montgomery, I think it got shoved over the advertisement boards and he hurt his knee a little bit. I think he hurt his MCL. So I was the cover for fullback as well. So I was stressing. So I was sitting next to the field most of the time, waiting for Percy to say, listen, I can't carry on. And I think thankfully he did. He kicked well at goal, and then Francis slotted a nice long one. So, it would have been nice to at least play a bit of a part in that final. But I mean, not many people can say they've been a part of a World Cup, and needless to say, to be part of a winning World Cup. So I'll take that any day.
So you're a World Cup winner. In 2009, you beat the British and Irish Lions, and you also helped the team win the Tri Nations in 2009. What made that team so special?
I think every now and then you get a generation of players that performs at a high level for a couple of years, and I think I was fortunate enough to be a part of that. I think in that team you probably had 5, 6, 7 guys who was the best at their position at that stage, and it makes a massive difference. I mean, again, 2009 was really special. I think we beat New Zealand 3 or 4 times, won the Tri Nations, beat the British and Irish Lions. So I think it's just a really talented, special group of players, and I think we saw that again now since 2019. I think this now again is a really special group of Springboks. So I think it's probably a timing thing as well. I think I was just at the right time or the right place at the right time, being part of a group like this with a lot of really good rugby players.
Funny you should mention that, because I had Corné Krige on the show a couple of episodes ago. I'll put a link to that in the description area here. And he commented that every boy dreams of becoming a Springbok, but when you get there, you hope that it's a really good era. I want to talk about you on a personal level, Ruan. You pretty much played every position in the backline for the Springboks. A lot of it was off the bench. Sometimes you were starting. And I think it's fair to say that coaches, because of that versatility that you had, they didn't really know what to do with you. What's your opinion around that?
When you're young, you just want to play anywhere. They put you at prop, you'll say, listen, I'm probably not going to make this, but I'll try my best. And you just want to play for the Springboks and be a part of it. And then as you grow older, sort of you lose your identity a little bit in that rugby, and you get seen more as an impact player and a bench player. I think we saw that with Brent Russell as well. He's such a talented player, but I think same thing, he covers so many positions, so it's easy to pick him on the bench, and he covers loads of positions. And it's probably the same, was the same scenario with me. I think, like I said, if you're younger, you just want to play. As you get older, you sort of got to make a choice of where you want to play and sort of try and settle a little bit. But it's a tough one. I think it's a nice one for coaches, but sometimes not that good for you as a player, because you don't always get that starting spot that you would want. But I mean, I would do it all over again. I really had a good time and really privileged to have played for my country. So it's been a good journey.
So, Ruan, how disappointing was it for you to only play a minor role at the 2011 World Cup?
I think, again, I was playing a lot of golf on that World Cup. I think, obviously, we had Fourie de Pre again. And then Francois Hougaard did a really good year with the Bulls. And I think he sort of took over my role I had in the 2007 World Cup. He covered wing and a lot of positions in the back line, and then also scrum off. So, I mean, again, disappointing, but I mean, it's still special to be a part of a World Cup, to go with the squad. And it was a disappointing end to that World Cup, but I was really close at the end.
So you played under Jake White, you played under Peter de Villiers, Heyneke Meyer. I'd like you to tell me a little bit about the differences that you experienced in their coaching methods.
It's a tough. I think Jake, I mean, he knows exactly the way he wants to play. He knows exactly the plans he wants to implement in all those games. And so I think he was sort of set in his plan, and the players knew that, and they bought into it. I think Peter de Villiers was probably a little bit more lenient. He had the players give a lot of input in how we played, things we needed to do. Also with preparation during the week, he was probably a little bit more relaxed, but a good people person. He always had the players' best interest in mind. If John Smith felt the players were tired and it's been a tough week, he would go to him and ask, listen, the players are struggling, and he would say, listen, let's take the day off or whatever. So he was really good at managing the players, and he's a really good person. I think Heyneke, again, probably a little bit more like Jake. He's got his set ways, his set plans in how he wants to play, and I think that's sort of more or less what I can reveal at this stage. Yeah. We
spoke about the disappointment earlier of the 2011 World Cup, but now 2015, you were very much part of the setup for the World Cup in England, and I think you know what I'm going to ask you. What happened in that opening game against Japan?
Oh, I don't know. You sort of still wake up at night getting a bit of a nightmare of that day. I'm not too sure. Our preparation was on point for that World Cup. I thought we had a really good squad. A lot of youngsters came in the squad during 2012, 2013, 14 with a lot of new faces, but still we had a lot of experienced guys in that group. And it's tough to say. I think our discipline wasn't great at the day. It's so hard to say. You get this question so many times. I think it was just a bad slip up. Maybe we underestimated them. I knew we had Skullberger for Rida Priya who played in Japan, and they warned us beforehand. Listen, they are not bad rugby players. It's going to be a tough one, and for some reason we just weren't at our best at the day, and the rest is history.
What did Heyneke say to you guys after the match?
No, I've never seen a coach furious like that. Obviously, to lose against Japan as South Africa, not to disrespect them, they're good rugby players, but I think we expected from ourselves, and everyone expected us to beat them. And Heyneke was really upset. It was probably the longest week before that next game. I think that was against Samoa. It was quiet. No one said anything. It was really the longest week of our lives in a rugby environment. But I think we can be proud of the way we bounced back and managed to go through the tournament after that. A very tight loss, against New Zealand. And then got a bronze medal at least. But I think that's probably one we let slip. I think we were a good squad, good enough to go all the way, and unfortunately we just fell short.
As you say, it was a decent return in the end, finishing third at the World Cup, certainly very respectable. So, Ruan, when you look back now at your career for the Springboks, I know you achieved so much, winning the World Cup, beating the British and Irish Lions, the Tri-Nations, as we mentioned. But is there anything that when you look back that you think, I would have liked to have done this, but you didn't quite get to do it?
Listen, I'm very fortunate, and like I said, I've played with a great group of players. I think, again, I probably would have liked to be a little bit more myself. I think if you looked at the Ruan Pienaar who played at the Sharks and the one who played for the Springboks, it's probably two different people. I think at the Sharks with Dick Meyer and John Plumtree especially, we had a lot of freedom to express ourselves. Where at the Springboks, the national level, you sort of get boxed in a little bit, and you've got your set game plan, and I think you just lose a little bit of your identity, and you don't really get that opportunity to express yourself as a player as I probably would have at the Sharks. So I think maybe just to back myself a little bit more when I played for the Springboks, maybe would have been nice to have a little bit more freedom to play the way I would have played. But like I said, when I played for the Sharks, but all in all, to be involved with 88 Test matches, to win a World Cup, to beat the British and Irish Lions, to be part of some of really special victories. Twickenham, that win against England at Twickenham was really special. To beat New Zealand in New Zealand, all those things are things to be great to be a part of. And would I change a lot? Probably not. I'm really grateful to have been a part of that.
Ruan, I ask this question of all my guests. Could you share with us a funny or memorable moment from your time with the Springboks?
There's so many. I think they're great characters that you normally play with. I think Jacques Fourie, there's so many stories you can talk about him. He's a massive prankster, John de Villiers. We had I probably can't share too much, but we had a camp before the 2011 World Cup. And we got dropped off in the middle of the Kruger National Park in groups, and you had to find your way with someone that works at the national park, and then sort of got back to base camp. And not too far away from the camp where we were set up for the night, there was a carcass that Lions just killed a couple of hours before, and some of the players thought it would be good to drag the carcass sort of to in front of where we were staying. We had a barbecue and everything there, yeah, a lot of hyenas came, and some of the players started charging the hyenas and stuff. So that's probably off the rugby field. But yeah, we just had so many great personalities from different walks of life, and a lot of naughty guys. Also, some of the celebrations after that win against New Zealand to win the Tri Nations in 2009 was really funny, where no one hardly had any kit left because it just got ripped off you completely. So the celebrations got out of hand a little bit there. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great stories to tell.
Special memories indeed. Okay, Ruan, before I let you go, the trivia question, here's a quick look at that again. Who did the Springboks play in a one-off test before the start of the 1996 Tri Nations? Ruan, do you know the answer?
Was it played in South Africa?
It was played in South Africa. It was played at Loftus, actually.
Was it one of the Pacific nations, maybe?
Yes.
Was it Samoa?
Oof. No, it was Fiji.
Fiji. Oh, close. I remember it was one of them.
Ruan, I want to say thank you very, very much. It really was lovely to have you on Front Row Rugby, and I hope we can have you on again in the future.
Thank you so much. It was great to chat to you, and yeah, all the best. Appreciate it.
Last time on Front Row Rugby, we had 2007 Rugby World Cup winner JP Peterson here. You can go and have a look at that video. It's appearing on your screen right now. Next time, David von Hesselen will be here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that video, why not tackle the like button? You can also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any content from Front Row Rugby. See you next time.